Hello everyone, it's Angela from the AppBury here again, and in this module we're going to learn all about in-app purchases and how to implement them for our apps to start earning extra bucks for all of the apps that you make. Now, if you've ever played any sort of game on the iPhone, you should be familiar with in-app purchases as well. A lot of apps will push them heavily onto you, and you can buy a whole wide range of in-app purchases, from gems to time to energy to coins, and basically everything that you can imagine. Now, the most important thing to notice about in-app purchases is that they are virtual. So essentially, it doesn't cost you any money when a user purchases one of these in-app purchases. It's only digital bits and bytes being moved around on Apple servers, and it's not something that you have to provide, like an actual physical t-shirt that you're selling them or sending them an Uber car driver who'll drive them around. And this is why Apple has the privilege of charging you 30% of everything you make through in-app purchases. So if you charge £1, they'll take 30p. If you charge $1, they'll take 30 cents, essentially. Now, it's really important that you remember that in-app purchases are only for virtual products, and all virtual products that you sell through the App Store has to go through Apple, and therefore you have to pay them the 30%. It's a little bit like your mafia protection money. But anyways, let's move on. So why do we need in-app purchases anyways? Well, because it's a really good way of increasing conversions on your free apps. So this allows you to put out your apps for free, making it more tempting and easier for users to download your app, giving it a go, and seeing what the features are before you start charging them for, say, premium features or to remove ads. And in-app purchases work extremely well. This is one of the reasons why if you search on the App Store and you look at the top grossing iPhone apps, you can see that pretty much all of them are free to download, but they all include in-app purchases. Every single one of these usually. And that is how they make big bucks. So the best way of implementing in-app purchases, from my experience, is giving the user about 80% of all the functionality of your app for free, and only then put up a paywall where they have to pay to get an in-app purchase to upgrade to the premium version or to remove ads or whatever it is that gets them that last 20% out of your app. This is what has worked really well in a lot of other apps, including one of my favorite, which is called Overcast. It is one of the best podcast apps out there, hands down. And the developer is a really cool guy called Marco, and he's an incredible developer, but he's also managed to implement this 80-20 with a paywall in a middle type of strategy really well. So check out the app and see how he implements these in-app purchases. Now, before we get started adding in-app purchases to our app, there are two things that you have to have before you can actually even run or test the code. First thing is you need a full Apple developer program, and you have to enroll on this program before you can start adding in-app purchases to your apps in Xcode and start testing them. So this means that you start paying them $99 per year, and ideally you are close to releasing your app. Now, the other requirement is that you have to have a physical iPhone device to test in-app purchases. Even if you write all of the code right, it just won't work on the simulator. And it doesn't tell you very explicitly that it's not working because you're running it on a simulator. So just be aware you need a full Apple developer account, and you need to have a physical iPhone device to test it on. It doesn't have to be the latest or the greatest, it just has to be one that can run and sideload your apps. So now let's check out what we'll build by the end of this module. So this is a really simple app which will display a table view of motivational quotes for the user. And they get 6 for free when they download the app for free. And then there's another 6, or however many you want to put in there, that are hidden behind the paywall. And they have to purchase an in-app purchase in order to view the rest of the quotes. So when they tap on buy, then there will be a pop-up and they'll have to enter their Apple ID and password. And once they've been charged, then you give them access to the rest of the content or whatever other content you want to give them. So in the process, we're going to be looking at how you restore in-app purchases, how you make purchases, and how you detect once they've been successful or if there are any errors. And so by the end of this module, you should understand how to implement in-app purchases for any future app that you decide to build and be able to listen for when the purchase has gone through successfully so that you can enable the premium features in your app and give your users access to more of your app. All right, so I hope you're as excited as I am about this tutorial. So once you're ready, head over to the next lesson and we'll get started.